Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been telling y'all that I was going to do a review video of this tractor for a long time now, and I'm finally going to get around to doing it. So hopefully in today's video, I'm going to show you some things that I like about my TN60, and I'm going to tell y'all about some things that I don't like. But anyways, long story short, I've had this tractor for a little over a year now. Y'all probably seen it on this channel quite a bit. So when you look at this tractor, you see it's a TN series. And if I'm not mistaken, TN series was one of the first all New Holland tractors they had. Now, if you look at like the 4630s, the 5030s, 3930s, I don't consider those true New Hollands because they were technically built using Ford parts. But the TN would have been your first this size range fully New Holland tractor. Now, if you don't know about these tractors were actually CNH, which basically means Case New Holland, but they're all owned by Fiat, and this little tractor was made in Italy. Now, if I was going to go buy one, I would probably definitely stick with the TN series, the TT series, and like the new Workmaster series, like that I'm about to drop in here below. And to me, the new Workmasters, like the Workmaster 55, 65s, things like that, I really just don't think the superiority of manufacturing is there. I would pick a TN over one of the new ones any day. So when I bought this tractor, it had only been a two-owner tractor. The guy bought it new in Asheville, sold it to the guy that I bought it from, and I had it 1,500 hours on it when I bought it, and now I've got 1,800 on it. So I've got 300 hours of use on it. It's got a 32LC loader, which is skid steer attachment, which I really like. I'll go ahead and show you some things I love about the operator's platform too. Now this tractor does have the hydraulic shuttle. Y'all probably seen it in some videos. It's literally just a click forward, click back. And supposedly you can do this, and I've accidentally bumped it a couple times and it's done it, but you can supposedly shift these without a clutch, but I still always stop anytime that I shift. I guess it's just a bad habit that I've got, but I don't know. I'm sure there's some pros and cons to it. And when you do get the hydraulic shuttle, you actually get a 4-range right here instead of just a 2-range. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if it has a mechanical shuttle over here, like an actual shifter handle, it'll only have like two ranges here and then 1, 2, 3, 4. But the hydraulic shuttle tractors actually have 4 ranges, which I don't really use all 4 of those ranges, but I have found uses for both B low and B high. And of course, C range is your road gear there. The tractor is only a single remote tractor though. I kind of wish it had duals, but that's okay. Another thing I love about the tractor is even though it's 4-wheel drive, the tractor steers super, super easy. And it actually starts pretty good in the winter time too. I'm sure maybe some of these other New Hollands or Cases have got this, but it's kind of like an intake manifold heater that you push that button and it builds a little fire in the intake or gets it kind of warm and hot. And it actually does start pretty good in the winter too. But it's got a good view from the operator station, which of course 4-wheel drive, it takes up a pretty good view of your front end there. But like I said, you can get all kinds of view out that way off of it. I also love how greasable everything is. You can grease your kingpins, you can grease your pivot down there. Another thing I really like is the back end setup on this one. You know, you've got your sway bars over here, your adjustable sway links. You also have your telescopic arms. I've just about decided, unless it's a classic tractor, I'll never buy another tractor without telescoping arms. They're awesome. I love them. The tractor so far has done everything that I've wanted it to do. There's not been anything the tractor's not been capable of. I love the hydraulics on them. The hydraulics are super strong. It picks up my grapple just fine. Now, let's go ahead and talk about something that a lot of people are probably interested in if they're looking for these tractors. And that's serviceability. Your fuel filter is right here. Your hydraulic filter is actually right there. So no more, you don't have to dig under it or anything like that to find it. It's right there. And if the loader wasn't on it, the hydraulic filter would be super, super easy to get to. The air filter, you just make sure your loader's in the right spot, pop the hood, pull it out, and then the oil filter's over here on this side. So servicing this tractor isn't really tough at all. It's actually pretty simple. So now that I've told you everything that I like about the tractor, now let's go ahead and start talking about some of the things I don't like or could be different. It seems like whenever you start using a piece of equipment, you'll find all the quirks with it, and I have found the quirks with this one. Now, even though this tractor doesn't have many hours on it, it's still almost 20 years old, so it's going to have some quirks. About probably 2 or 3 months ago, I noticed that I was having just a huge leak out of the back end, and where the 3-point hitch arms go in to the casing, there's a housing, and inside that housing there's a seal, and when that seal goes bad, it literally just lets all your fluid go out that's in your back end. So we put some buckets under it and stuff like that, and we drained all the fluid and replaced the seal. So that is one design that I really don't like about this tractor. Like, why would you even have something like that anyways? Why can't you just have them mounted just like all the old tractors were? So that is one thing that I don't like about the 10s. I think that like the 55 series John Deeres are very similar to that too. Another thing that I don't like about it is the 4-wheel drive engagement. I've read the manuals and things like that, and I've heard that if you stop, pull the handle up, make sure you're at a complete stop, it should engage in 4-wheel drive, and probably 70% of the time it does. But I have been bush hogging sometimes, and I've caught myself and thinking I was in 4-wheel drive and found out real quick I wasn't, even though the handle was pulled up. And I've checked my linkages, like I've been under the tractor and tried to push up on it even more to get the handle to go up, and it just won't work. I had a guy that goes to church with me. He had a TN60 as well, either a 60 or 65, and he said his was real bad to think it's in 4-wheel drive, but it's not. So if you guys have a TN series down below, comment, let me know what's wrong with it. But that is one issue that I don't like about it either. Another issue I don't like about it is a 60. Now, a TN60 and 65, I believe, are 3-cylinder naturally aspirated, and the 70s and 75s are 3-cylinder turbo. So a turbo definitely does help a lot. This tractor, as long as it's in low gear, I've never had any issues with it pulling or anything like that. It'll mow hay all day long. But the second that you put it in road gear and you try to keep up with pretty good speed, you got to go to fourth, from fourth to third to second, and especially if you're pulling something up a pretty big hill. But it does have fluid in all four, so that's probably, hurting it. The weight of the loader's hurting it. And it's just a kind of bigger tractor with kind of a smaller motor. But like I said, you're not on the road all the time. And lastly, probably one issue I have with it is just a little light in the back end, even with fluid in it. Now, where I went from the 10-bell grapple to the 8-bell, it's helped tremendously, and you wouldn't think like that extra 100 pounds would help, but it really has. But if I plan on keeping the tractor for a little bit, I'm hoping to find maybe 200 or 300 pounds worth of weights that I could put on each side. That would work out really nice. Overall, I'm really satisfied with the tractor for the money I've got in it. For the money that I got in it, I couldn't have touched a new one. So that's really the main reason that I bought it. Did I give a little bit too much for a 20-year-old tractor? Maybe, but I was really tickled with the shape that it's in, and so far I've been really tickled with how it's treated me. And when you find these tractors, like a TN70 or something like that, that's 2-wheel drive, open station, that doesn't have a loader, you can buy those tractors for like 10 grand. So they're not really that bad expensive. Of course, if it has a loader on it, it's going to increase value. 4-wheel drive is going to increase value. Hydraulic shuttle is going to increase value. So, of course, you'll have to factor in all that depending on what you're buying. But to me, personally, I would rather put half of what a new tractor costs on something like this. And I know you don't get a warranty or anything, but to me, if I was going to look at a brand new Holland this size versus this one, I would rather go ahead and go this option. Like I said, they're just a lot heavier built, seems like to me. It seems like the quality is there, like the fit and finish, as the saying goes. And seems like the new ones, they're just kind of just thrown together. So, of course, I'm going to exclude the 30 series, like the 46, 39, 50, because they're really a Ford tractor. But the first generation New Holland tractors, so far, I've been pretty satisfied with. Of course, coming from my 4000 to this one, it's been like, just a killer change. Even though it's on a brand new tractor, coming from a 70s model Ford to this, it's felt like a brand new one. So that's my honest opinion of them. Like I said, I've been with this one for 300 hours now, so I've kind of got a pretty good idea of how it works. Some of the things I like and some of the things I don't. But anyways, if a few of you guys have stuck around and watched the video this long, let me take you and show you something that hopefully this one's going to be pulling next year. Lord willing, me and it's still both around. My dad and I, we went up to Kentucky and bought something the other day and brought it home. So let me me take you and show you real quick before this video ends. I wonder if Howie approves. Never know about him. He likes to ride it as long as it's not running. It's a little dark in the barn, but hopefully we can see it. I ended up buying a New Holland 615 disc mower. Now, there's nothing in the world wrong with my coon, but I don't know. I seen this one pop up and just kind of wanted to try something else. So it's actually a New Holland built mower. It's not a coon New Holland. It's actually a New Holland New Holland. So it's about 12 or 1,300 pounds. You can definitely tell it's on that TN60 when it's back there. One thing about these New Hollands is each head has an individual pod for oil. It doesn't have a continuous cutter bar on it for oil. Each one has a pod for oil. Now, the guy that I bought this off of said he bought it from the original owner. And, I mean, you can tell. I mean, there's a dent right here. It's bent, but this mower has not sat outside much. He said he bought it and wanted to start putting up hay, but a guy charged him $25 just to roll the hay. He was doing the mowing, the tedding, and the raking, and the guy charged him $25 just to roll it, and it wasn't even net wrap. So he said, to heck with this, he's going to start buying his own hay, and had the mower for a year and sold it. Now, when I asked him, was there any issue with the mower, he said no. And I said, is the mower dry around the gearbox? And he said yes. But I think he kind of got panicked when I asked him that, and I think he just pulled this plug out here and put grease in it, like, you know, like gear oil, because we run it for about 30 seconds, and all of a sudden it started bleeding out of this bleeder valve here, weeping, you know, gear oil out. Ended up on my trailer on the way home. It was covered. I came home, popped this little side plug over here, and it just started gushing oil out. So I would say probably that he kind of got worried when I asked him that, filled it up, and I don't think it actually was run that long. I think it was just run for us to hear it. But the mower's super quiet. The tarp's in good shape. You can tell he had it sitting outside when he had it, but hopefully that's going to be our issue. I hope it's just too full of fluid. So we're going to go ahead and drain all this gearbox out. We're going to put the correct fluid in it, and hopefully we're going to try to mow some hay with it this year. But we're going to try to work out a deal. Me and my fiance's dad, his mower locked up this year, so I think he wants my coon, and this is what's going to kind of replace my coon. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it as always. Hope y'all have a blessed day, okay? Thanks.